everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you another Who Would Win battle. Yes, it's time for that versus epicness. It's that time of the week again, and I'm here to give you a battle of biblical proportions, and I give you a battle between Nightwing of the DC Universe going up against Leonardo from the TMNT Universe. Yes, it's time for that turtle power going up against the Dark Knight's greatest sidekick, turned hero, Dick Grayson himself. So yeah, it's all about that. Before I get into that battle, I wanted to announce a few things I'll get into that in the end of the battle, of course. But before I get into all that awesomeness and news, I wanted to address last week's Who Would Win battle. Of course, if you've checked it out, and if you've not, spoilers to that, but of course, it was a battle between Knuckles of the Sonic universe going up against Bowser of the Super Mario universe. And if you've not seen it, there'll be an annotation at the end of this battle, so you can go check it out. But overall, I just wanted to say thank you to Paul, my good friend Paul from his from EvilScar23 channel, and of course you can go check it out. There'll be you just have to go to my channel and it'll be right there, so you can easily find his stuff and check out his videos, and of course you can check out his versus matches, which he only has one right now. He plans on doing future ones, which he hinted last week, but overall, essentially, his battle was against Wolverine and Iron Man, so if you're interested in that, definitely go check it out. But overall, I just wanted to say thank you to him for being a part of it, and for all of my viewers and subscribers for dealing with it, because I know that the battle was a little it was a little long. I guess the best way to put it is that it was unnecessarily long, and a lot of that had to do with EvilScar23's screen and computer system was kind of like failing on us here and there when we were doing the rundown of powers, because usually my system is, when my overall schedule is, when it comes to my Who Would Win battles, usually the week before or the week of, I usually take a day to just research both characters and both characters' history, powers, and abilities beforehand, and then I usually memorize majority of their powers and abilities before getting into the battle, and I usually keep up a page of a list of basic powers and techniques that they usually have, just to make sure that majority of the things I memorized are correct and that they are completely accurate to that character, and just in case if I forget something, I have the list to go back and fall on against. So that's kind of like what I usually do, but because I was out of my element, if you will, I had to deal with his computer system, which was, kind of messed up, but overall, I like the overall rambling that we kept going on, and hopefully there's a future Who Would Win battle that I can do with him again, where it's more debatable, where it will be actual characters that I think would win, or he think would win, that really we can butt heads, because I think that would be more interesting debate if we don't agree on a specific fight. I think that'll be kind of cool, and I just like the fact that I got to have someone on and do these videos with me, because I feel like even though I love doing this segment, it's definitely one of my more enjoyable segments on my channel, besides the other things I do. It's kind of, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of nice just to have someone on and debate with me and just talk about specific characters with. But overall, check out that fight. And that being said, let's get into this fight. Of course, if you're new to this channel and new to this segment, essentially I take two fictional characters from whichever universe: video games, movies, television, cartoons, comic books, anime. I put them in an imaginary fictional ring, give you their brief stats of their powers and abilities, a brief rundown of both powers and abilities of each character, give you a speculated fight as how I personally think would go down, and then give you my overall speculated and subjective opinion and to who I personally think would win, which of course leads to the inevitable ending question, which is, who do you think would actually win? And of course, you can also just go to the comment section, let me know who you think would win or who should have won, and of course you can use the hashtag on Twitter and forward me a tweet at Josh12 and use the hashtag, who would win, Nightwing versus Leonardo. But that being said, let's get into Nightwing's powers and abilities. Now, of course, I've already done a rundown on Dick Grayson Robin's powers and abilities, but now we're just going to focus on Nightwing's. It's pretty much the same. It's generally the same character, so essentially, if you've seen my prior battle with Robin and talking about Dick Grayson, then you pretty much know majority of his powers and abilities. But let's just give a brief rundown of all of them. Of course, Nightwing's at the peak of human conditioning. He obviously, due to his intensive and vigorous training under the Dark Knight Batman, he's obviously exercised his body to be near perfection in physical form for a person of his age. He's also extremely fast in speed and can run above average speeds, and of course he's also has incredible endurance since a young age. Of course, if you know anything about Dick Grayson's history, he was of course an acrobat for Haley's Circus before transitioning into crime fighter under the tutelage and teachings of the Dark Knight. He's also, as I stated, an expert acrobatic. He's incredibly strong. He's at the peak of physical strength and is specifically considerably high for a person of his age. And also Nightwing is, of course, an expert master martial artist and a master at stealth. He's a master as an escape artist and marksman. He's an expert marksmanship, and also is capable of pretty much being on par with characters like Artemis and Red Arrow, which are of course other characters from the DC universe. And of course, because he comes from the Batman side of the DC universe, he's also an incredible detective and has amazing detective skills. And of course, has is an expert vehicle driver, master hacker, and a very great strategic planner. But moving off of that, let's get into some various weapons and equipment. And yes, I will be using weapons and technology-based weapons for both characters. And moving off of that, Nightwing has his cowl, which was built for him specifically. That's designed for, I guess, amplifying specific abilities, usually for stealth reasons and camouflage reasons. Also has attached to his wrists are holographic computers where he can access his own computer interface that includes multiple data files and schematics and various other tech-based uses, and of course has the iconic utility belt that a majority of all Batman characters have, which carries modified weapons and gadgets that include his Skrilla sticks, which usually are his main weapons, which will be a main focus of this battle, which are essentially, if you don't know what those Skrilla sticks are, they're twin fighting sticks that are completely made out of metal bars that Nightwing utilizes in fighting and is an expert at using them, and specifically amplifies his ability at striking. And of course are usually stored either, it definitely depends, it's usually at the waist for you during his usually near his utility belt, or specifically it's stored on his back. And of course also in the utility belt he carries handcuffs and various explosive pellets and other kind of weapons like that. And of course Nightwing has one major weakness, and that's of course not having superpowers. As we all know, when it comes to the DC universe, it's all about superpowers and what kind of power you specifically have. But of course, Nightwing doesn't have any weakness other than just having no superpowers. Robin has multiple weaknesses, so I'm guessing like if this was a rematch for Robin, then Robin would definitely lose. But seeing as how it's Nightwing, Nightwing has definitely perfected his weaknesses from when he was a child under Batman's tutelage. And of course, as the character and mantle of Robin, Dick Grayson would have been destroyed due to his primary weaknesses, which include obviously a lack of superpowers and of course a variety of people skills and and lack of training and communication skills and stuff like that. So, but moving off of that, let's get into Leonardo's powers and abilities. Like obviously Dick Grayson, Nightwing, he has multiple weaponry and skills that will be a major focus of this fight. But let's get into it. Of course, Leonardo is extremely skilled in martial arts, and of course is an expert swordsman. He has enhanced strength. Pretty much he can, a turtle usually can pull 5 times its body weight, and seeing as how the Ninja Turtles are mutated characters, and of course have been training under the expert master martial artist Splinter, they've obviously been able to increase their strength, amplifying it to incredible results. He also has enhanced speed, contrary to popular belief. Despite being a turtle, he's obviously not slow. He's incredibly fast and has enhanced speed. He also has enhanced stealth. Like majority of the ninja characters, he is a ninja. He can hide in the shadows. He can sneak under places not without being detected. And he's also an expert at hand-to-hand combat, like majority of all real ninjas. And of course, his main focus of weaponry is his dueling katana blades, which is going to be a major focus within this fight against Nightwing. Specifically, Nightwing's eskrima sticks. But moving off of that, he also has his shell, which, like majority of all turtles, he can use to go inside himself and use that as, I guess, as a defense mechanism for majority of the fight. And of course has a healing factor, but of course, being a turtle, he can only use this healing factor when he's completely underwater, or seems to work only when he's in complete water. He has an increased enhanced intelligence. He obviously is intelligent when it comes to specifically defense and planning and strategies, and of course has increased stamina, and of course increased endurance. He has shown multiple times that he has a high stamina, and of course, seeing all the battles he's done with the Foot Clan, and of course Shredder and various other characters, he has incredible endurance, and of course he also has healing power, which was taught was taught how to use ninjutsu to heal himself, and also has other use of special techniques that were taught by Splinter, and it obviously is a major effect in this fight, specifically when it comes to removing venom and other kind of cures like that. But I don't think it's really going to be a major focus point within this battle, seeing as how Nightwing, as I clearly have mentioned during the rundown, doesn't really have anything that's going to have the use of healing powers. But that being said, let's get right into this fictional battle between these fictional characters. Now, of course, when I first got into this fight, I really thought that it would be a one-sided fight. I really thought that because I'm more of a hardcore Batman guy, and I know more of the mythology of the Batman mythos, I thought it would be kind of a one-sided fight. Nightwing is obviously superior martial artist, but then again, they're not called the Ninja Turtles for nothing. He's a ninja. Even though he's a mutated, turtle, he's still a ninja at the end of the day. So I feel like his skills as a martial artist, specifically in ninjutsu, and specifically under the many years of training under Master Splinter, I really think they're really on par with each other. I don't know exactly how on par, because Nightwing has proven himself to be capable of being a great leader like Batman, and has on multiple occasions can pretty much be on par with Batman in a fighting status. And obviously he's also taken the mantle of the Dark Knight himself. He was Batman at one point, which is a really big accomplishment for the character. But moving off of that, power and strength, I really have to go with Leonardo on this. Leonardo is just stronger than Nightwing. Nightwing is not on par with Leonardo's strength. Their specific skills will be primary with their specific weapons, which is the eskrima sticks and the katanas. The katanas, Leonardo has proven himself that he can use only one blade. He's a very skilled swordsman, so I think at the end of the day, regardless of the gadgets and weapons, and regardless of the various kind of things that Nightwing could do, Leonardo has the edge when it comes to specific skill, strength, and the katanas. The katanas would just dominate. Eskrima sticks are going to block it for a long time, but, Nightwing doesn't really have a specific weapon in mind that can really take down Leonardo, other than just not decapitating him, but just like completely knocking him out for probably maybe a short period of time. But I don't know, it's like the Nightwing versus Leonardo fight to me sounds interesting and awesome, and I like that. I like the idea. They feel like they can be really on par. You go down to their powers and abilities, they are on par. I mean, granted, Nightwing has gadgets and various other kind of weapons like that, but skill level, very on par with each other. Strength, I think Leonardo has the slight edge because of his mutation and because of his turtle power and other things like that. He also has a healing factor, but I don't think that's going to be a major focus because I don't think Nightwing is really on a stabbing rampage that he's going to want to stab the crap out of Leonardo. And also, he's going to need water. And I think the majority of the time, they're just going to be on the streets. This is going to be a street fight. They're both city guys. Although, you know, Leonardo could just go to the sewer, and then they'll just be completely out of focus. They'll be complete. Damn, I just thought, like, okay, Leonardo just got the edge right here. Okay, we're in the streets. Okay, then he gets down to the sewers. It's a real one-sided fight. Oh my, this is a really good fight. I really enjoy the fact that someone requested this of me, which is really awesome. Overall, Nightwing and Leonardo are very interesting, awesome characters. I like Nightwing a little bit more, but I really think the edge goes to Leonardo, specifically for his martial arts skill, his strength, and of course his healing factor. Especially if they're going to be fighting in the sewers. I think it's going to be a real big one. I think this is definitely one-sided. It's definitely going to be one-sided. If they stay specifically in the streets, and if Nightwing doesn't get overconfident, which I think he will do, and he stays on point, I think Nightwing would win. But overall, if I had to give you a specific winner, my subjective opinion, mind you, as to who I think could actually win in this fight, and who has the edge, I go with Leonardo. This is the in between this battle, because usually before these battles even get recorded, I usually have an idea of who I think would win, and that usually ends up happening. But this is the first time actually discussing the battle that I think this character would actually win. So, at the end of the day, I actually think Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would win in a fight against Nightwing. Dick Grayson definitely has a lot going for him, but those katanas are just a major focus point that I don't think would really... God, it's just so hard to... I don't know, it's really hard to say. I mean, like, unless, like, Nightwing just out of nowhere started using guns. And, of course, we're not using, Spiral, Agent Dick Grayson. We're using specifically Nightwing. So, of course, him without weapons. Which, of course, will also be completely useless. Because even if Nightwing did have weapons, like guns and whatever, Leonardo would be an expert at dodging that. So, and he's proven that he can. So, that's not going to be a major, edge to Nightwing. Overall, I think it just depends on which character would beat the other with their specific weapons, which are the sticks and the swords. I go with the swords. That's just me. I think Nightwing has a good defense, but Leonardo has a good offense, and that's the difference between both characters. And even though I think Nightwing would be very, very extremely hard to beat, and I think at certain points he could win, I have to give the edge to Leonardo, and that edge is really, like, tormenting my brain now. It's like the little voice in your head, the little cricket from Pinocchio is like, Leonardo, idiot. Leonardo, it's all about that Ninja Turtle power, you idiot. So that's why I'm going to go with Leonardo. So Leonardo for the win. Ninja power all the way. It's all about that turtle power. I don't know. I love both characters. I love both universes. And at the end of the day, that's the only way, that's like the best way I can like basically give you why it's a good win for Leonardo. Nightwing has a good defense. Leonardo has the good offense. I think Leonardo and Dick Grayson have great planning, and they're great acrobatics, and they're great martial artists. But Leonardo's a straight up ninja. Nightwing is not. Nightwing is a good detective. He's also a good crime fighter, but he's specifically not a straightforward martial artist in the traditional sense. And I think that's where Leonardo gets the edge. So overall, I'm going with Leonardo. So overall winner, Leonardo. That's just who I'm going to put my money on. Both characters I love to death, specifically Nightwing. So, yeah, I have to give it to Leonardo. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you think would win, because that's the important part. Comment below, let me know. Also, if you're going to do this discussion over on Twitter, use the hashtag, who would win, Nightwing versus Leonardo. And, of course, let me know if you think Nightwing should have won, or overall, your, basic opinion, and hopefully, very small response, because, you know, whenever there's like a gigantic paragraph of like, okay, here's the explanation as to why this character would win, then, you know, nobody has time to read paragraphs and stories as to a specific, you know, comic book or, you know, a cartoon or movie as to why this character should have won. I think brief sentences could suffice. Overall, that's pretty much my win for today. Let me know your personal win. Before I leave you with this, addressing who's going to be the next battle, I do have some news. This is actually going to be the last Who Would Win battle for a while, 2 weeks to be accurate, because if you've listened to my John Control Effect podcast, I did address the fact that I will be out of town. I will be going on vacation for 2 weeks starting on the 27th of this month, and I won't be returning until the 6th of September, so I will be gone for a while, and there will be no Who Would Win battles for the next 2 Thursdays. However, I will be, you know, continuing this series. It's not going to end just because I'm on vacation. It's just that for the next 2 weeks, there just won't be any Who Would Win battles. But overall, and I, you know, just as a quick hint as to where I will be going out of town, specifically, I will be going to the Windy City, and I will also be transitioning into Sin City. So yes, those are 2 specific cities. If you can, you know, crack the code as to where those places actually are, that's where I will be according to this specific scheduling. But overall, at the end of the day, I have to give you a hint as to which battle will be next. 2 weeks from now, the next Who Would Win battle will be between Betty. Oh god, this is what happens when I talk too much. I freaking, you know, start becoming mushmouth. But anyways, next battle 2 weeks from now will be against Beta Ray Bill from the Thor universe, specifically the Marvel universe, going up against Pycon of the Dragon Ball Z universe. Yes, it's time once again for a Thor character to go up against another Dragon Ball Z character, and let's see how that goes down. And of course, if you've not seen my Knuckles versus Bowser fight, definitely check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below. Use the hashtag Who Would Win Knuckles Nightwing versus Leonardo, and of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jarger12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been John 12.